Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to your continuing coverage of the Defense 2, brought to you and organized by joinDOTA, commentated by Toshley, and sponsored by Razor and BenQ. And we're jumping straight in to the Defense 2 Grand Finals. Mousesports going up against Complexity. Complexity took the first game and Mousesports brought it back in the second, but in the third, Complexity secured the lead that they previously had, and the score lies to 2-1. Complexity being one game away from netting themselves that first place within this tournament and that €6,000 prize. Will Mousesports bring it back, bring even the scores once again, and force a fifth game, or will Complexity take it 3-1? It all lies upon this game. Complexity Gaming, the team from America, sitting on the dire side today. We see Captain Fluff and Stuff, following up with JO, TC, Hannah Montana, and IX Mike. And on the side of Mousesports, we have Captain 1437, Come With Me, Sing Sing, Black, and Bambo. And despite all the introductions that I've gone through, nobody is yet to pick. Or ban, rather. The first ban to be taken out going to be that of the Rubik. Mousesports love to run with that Rubik, and he puts a lot of pressure on whichever team which is going up against him because of his ability to steal spells, potentially powerful spells. It means you cannot predict what that Rubik might deliver in the next fight. Normally you can prepare that they've got these 5 heroes, we need to watch out for this spell, this spell, this spell, and this spell, but you can never be sure what spell that Rubik may have secured for himself, and may throw a complete wrench into the plans. Into whatever your plans are going up against that composition, because suddenly they have this extra spell that they didn't have before. Nagasaran to be the first hero taken out by Mousesports. Again, 100% standard. The combinations to come out of Song of the Siren are absurd. It's not only a get out of jail free card for when your team fight is not going so well, but you can use it for fantastic initiation. You can steal Roshan, you can do so much with it. A very versatile hero, and Anti-Mage is going to be the second hero to be taken out by Complexity. We're going immediately taking out those heavy, hard-hitting carries. Not exactly what I would consider first ban material, and this could leave some powerful heroes still in the pool. Leshrac is still in, Broodmother, Nature's Prophet, Lycan has yet to be taken out of the fray, and Complexity have first pick as well, so they might snag up that Lycan. Will Mousesports let them have it? Even if they don't let them have it, they could still get a Prophet, they could still get a Broodmother. There are still some powerful heroes remaining in the pool. I'm trying to think as to why this Anti-Mage ban came out. Maybe they want to go for a very mana-heavy mix, but a composition that relies heavily on their mana, but an Invoker would be far more efficient at draining a team's mana than an Anti-Mage would. Maybe they want to go for a Morphling, Morphling being not so effective against the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is fantastic against the Morphling because you can't morph to Strength or Waveform away when all of your mana is gone. It's as simple as that. And your mana will drop at a very, very rapid rate with something as simple as a Manta style, and of course 4 ranks in that mana break. Third ban out to be taken out by Complexity is going to be that of the Lycan, and Mousesports responding to that once again with the Silly Bear. We saw in previous game, we saw in the first game in particular, the Silly Bear was no doubt instrumental in Complexity's success. They utilize him fantastically. And Complexity have first pick. How do they want to go with this? Nature's Prophet is in the pool, Broodmother is in the pool too. Veritable powerhouses available for either team to pick in the end. Nature's Prophet going to be secured up by Complexity Gaming, a solid pickup all round. Brings great defense, great push, and a lot of global presence. You can help with ganks or help with defending someone who is getting ganked, and you always, Mousesports from now on, will always need to remember that at any moment, Nature's Prophet can join the fight. He can also be pushing a tower or defending another tower, so split pushes become somewhat less effective. And with Anti-Mage being taken out, Mousesports are going to secure themselves up that Morphling. I'm still somewhat unsure about that Anti-Mage ban to come out of Complexity. It seems, I don't quite get it. But the next couple of pickups, Mousesports' 2 first picks, going to be that of Leshrac, following it up with a Morphling. So we've got some good push, some AoE presence, and we have our late game hero who should hopefully be able to bring it back in case things don't go so well for Mousesports. Or maybe Mousesports will go for a 4 protect 1 strategy. Not so much likely, it's more of an Asian style, but it works out very nicely. They make sure that Morphling stays safe, they make sure he gets farm, he rises it up, and then he proceeds to destroy everything. The first game where Mousesports didn't get to hold of their Venomancer. I'm fairly certain that every single game thus far, Mousesports secured the Venomancer for themselves. This time Complexity gets it alongside a Tidehunter. So fantastic initiation to come out of the Tide Hunter, some counter push as well, and the Venomancer presents a nice amount of counter push in the form of those wards. The Venomous Scale helps out nicely, a lot of early aggression as well. Now Mousesports, they might want to go for the support to go alongside the Morphling. They might want someone to synergize with the Leshrac, and this is exactly where the SK comes in. Burrow Strike alongside Split Earth, they work together nicely, and chances are we could see the Leshrac and the SK laning together, possibly in the top, maybe in the bottom, maybe even in mid. They can go wherever the hell they want, and whoever goes up against that combination is going to have not the greatest of times. It's a very powerful combination. And maybe they could even throw a Shadow Demon into the mix. Would play that role of support, as well as the fact that Disruption, Split Earth, Burrow Strike, not to mention the Soul Catcher that's going to amplify every single bit of outgoing damage, outgoing spell damage that is. It will be devastating to whoever lanes against a combination like that. However, Shadow Demon hasn't been seeing much play thus far in the last few games actually. Previously, earlier in this tournament, he was making a feature in almost every single game, not so much getting banned, but typically getting picked. Now, I haven't seen him in a while, he hasn't been banned or picked, it seems he's sort of fallen off. He didn't make much of an appearance within the International 2 either. On that note, I do plan on casting probably every game of the International 2, at least not in the preliminaries. I'll go with the main event, and the reason for this, it's mostly for experience. What I'm doing now is mostly for experience, but the International is a little bit different because it has Asian teams. I haven't had much pleasure casting Asian teams, and the style is very different, very different. It's far more methodical, it's far more precise and perfect. They go for precision, they try to minimize mistakes while capitalizing on the enemy's mistakes. That's why you'll often see them, they'll take 3 racks or maybe 2 racks, and instead of going for the final blow and killing the towers, they'll back off and farm. They don't take unnecessary risks, they want to try and guarantee their victory. And sometimes it's really entertaining to watch, sometimes it can get a little bit boring when it turns into a massive farm fest, but it's still a style that I have to familiarize myself with. CK going to be taken out by Mousesports. Shadow Demon is indeed being taken out by Complexity Gaming. They don't want to give them that fantastic trio of absolute death in the form of the Leshrac, the SK, and the Shadow Demon. And Mousesports are taking away, in the form of that CK, we've got push, we've got some sort of, not quite late game, I'd say more mid game, but great push to come out of the CK and great initiation. The Phantasm plus a Manta style is a dead tower. The CK doesn't even need to be there, he can just box them all, right click on that tower, and it will fall within a matter of seconds.
Reserve time.
As we have some glorious dead air, well, we have very little reserve time remaining for the team of Complexity Gaming. The 5th hero to be removed out is that of the Enchantress. Chen is still in the pool, and Chen could... Okay, Chen is not still in the pool. He's been taken out. Never mind. He sure survived a long way. The 5th and final ban, or technically the 10th and final ban to take him out. Surviving a long way in this draft, a lot longer than he normally does. Enigma's still in the pool, and Mousesports might want to secure that up for themselves for both the initiation and the fact, and so they can simply have a jungler. And Black Hole combined with Leshrac and all of his AoE abilities, as well as SK in the Epicenter, Waveform to come out of the Morphling, it's a lot of power, and we have a lot of AoE teamfight presence to be coming out of the current composition of Mousesports. Burrow Strike, Caustic Finale, Epicenter, then we have the Morphling with his Waveform, which does a lot of damage, and then we have Leshrac with every single one of his abilities being an AoE of some kind. Queen of Pain going to be the 4th pickup for the team of Complexity Gaming. Looking at that lanes, so you're going to see Queen of Pain solo mid. Tide Hunter, it's possible we could see him... I would say Queen of Pain solo mid, but then again, Nature's Prophet, Jo has been playing the solo mid in the Nature's Prophet in almost every single game. I think it was Jo, maybe it was TC. Ogre Magi making an appearance in the game, for the team of Mousesports, going to be playing the role of support. Not a hero I would have expected, but we saw in a previous game of the defense, Na'Vi picked up an Ogre Magi and utilized him in a fairly interesting but no doubt fantastic manner. Picking up an Orb of Venom, the slow stacking with that Ignite, it worked out very nicely. And we have a total of 13 seconds for Complexity to pick. 3 seconds of reserve time, and now we're closing in on just a measly 5 seconds. We don't have much time to pick our 5th and final hero. Disruptor going to be picked up. So we have two heroes typically don't make an appearance all that much thus far. Disruptor is definitely a hero I expected to see more of within the metagame. His glimpse just seems like such a fantastic ability. So much range, 1800 range. It means that no one is going to get away from you. Mousesports, who do they want for their 5th? I'd say they don't really have... Well, we've got several heroes that can go solo mid. Leshrac can go solo mid, though. It's probably going to be ideal that we want to put the Leshrac with the SK. We'll put the Morphling alongside the Ogre Magi, and then we need one more. Enigmas are possible. We can put him in the off lane. He can go solo off lane easy peasy. Get his levels up, get the Black Hole, get the Mechanism. He'll do a fairly good job and have a fairly happy time. He also brings great teamfight presence and will synergize very nicely with the rest of Mousesports' lineup. But if I were to guess how the lanes would go for the team of Mousesports, SK and Leshrac in mid, Morphling, Ogre Magi up in the top safe lane, and we just have waiting on our 5th hero to take that off lane. Beastmaster is a possibility, great initiation as well, Enigma is another possibility, and we have loads of reserve time to come out of the team of Mousesports. As for Complexity's lanes, I'm never certain about their lineups. It's always not what I expect. Jakiro going to be the 5th and final pickup for the team of Mousesports. 3 heroes that typically don't see the light of day being secured up, spread across both teams too, and as to how both teams will play this out, all I can say is I'm looking forward to it. The Complexity's lineup, I have no idea how they're going to lane this. You would think Queen of Pain solo mid, you know, Nature's Prophet either in the jungle. We'll put Nature's Prophet in the jungle, Tidehunter in the off lane, maybe Venomancer and Disruptor. Actually, that doesn't seem the greatest combo. We could put Disruptor solo mid and throw an absolute wrench into whoever is going up against that Disruptor. You max that Lightning Bolt, and then all of a sudden the Thunder Strike, and then all of a sudden you're losing all of your health. You can't get near the creep wave to last hit. He can win mid really, really easily. But let us gander at who is playing who over on the side of Complexity. Over on the Radiant side of the field, we have Hannah Montana to be playing as that Tidehunter, Jo to take up the role of the Nature's Prophet, TC playing on the Queen of Pain, IX Mike to play as the Venomancer, and Disruptor being played by Captain Fluffenstuff. And over on the side of Mousesports, we have Bambo. On the Dire side, we have Bambo to take up the role of the SK. Black playing as the Morphling, Ogre Magi being played by Sing Sing of all people. Then we have Come With Me on the Leshrac and 1437 to be playing as that Jakiro. And it seems we'll see SK taking the off lane, Morphling going solo mid, and down the bottom we have a tri-lane of Leshrac, Jakiro, and Ogre Magi. Now this is going to be an aggressive tri-lane. We've got Split Earth, we've got the Ice Path, and we have the Firebolt. A lot of stuns, a lot of potential damage, and a lot of aggression. But going up against the lineup of Complexity, we have Fluffenstuff alongside IX, Might, and TC. We've got damage, we've got slows. Don't really have any hard disables, but it's a nice lineup. But can it compete with what the team of Mousesports are offering up for us today? Not sure. It's going to be quite the fight. SK going up against Hannah Montana should be a relatively even exchange of affairs. If he decides to get points in Caustic Finale, it might cause some trouble for the Tidehunter, but the Kraken Shell should mostly negate the vast majority of the damage to come out of that Caustic Finale. In the middle lane, Jo up against Morphling. Jo can harass, the Nature's Prophet can harass very easily with those Treants. But Jo for the most part, or Black rather for the most part, should be relatively fine, feeling relatively happy about it himself, and they pulled some regen for him. Bought a Wraith Band straight away. First item on the agenda. Picked up immediately. Good ward placement, good ward placement. Doesn't catch the rune, however. But it catches more vision of this area, so it's a bit of a trade-off. And good offensive wards to come out of the Dire side, and as to how either side will proceed from here on out, well, we are going to have to wait and see. This tri-lane of aggression, well, we've got good escape. TC can simply blink out to safety. The Venomancer, however, will find himself in a world of pain if he does get caught out. And the Disruptor, well, with a nicely placed kinetic field, might be able to get away and block any form of pursuit to come out of the team of Mousesports. No aggression to be dealt just yet. Sing Sing checking out what exactly is going on. Diving in deep, the Venomous Gale to go down, and Sing Sing, the Thunder Strike to follow it up. The right clicks are being dealt, but Sing Sing, he has a large amount of HP. The Split Earth missing by a significant margin. The healing from the little Tango Tinkle Barbare will be fine, and Sing Sing will be okay. He's a strength hero, essentially. He has a high strength gain despite being an intelligence hero, and as a result, he's very hard to kill, and works very nicely in this aggressive tri-lane. Linking in, the Venomous Gale to go down, and come with me, the Telekinetic Field to go down as well. 1437 is trapped down as well. The Split Earth to follow it up, and the first blood has been spilt. The Shrap takes a fall, secured by the team of Complexity, and Jay is still moving in. The Furin has joined the fight. 1437 getting awfully low. The TPs are rolling in once again. They want to continue to fight this, get a little bit of vengeance, but Complexity are backing off. They realize that they don't want to keep fighting forward. Not just yet. They want to get their mana back up before they can deal that early aggression once again. Stun to go down, Split Earth to follow it up, the Ice Path to go down. Will Complexity be able to blink out? Yes, TC gets away easy peasy. Now Sing Sing is trapped. 1437 is low. A couple more right clicks will do, and 2 kills for the team of Complexity. Sing Sing will be the third, but a nice deny to come out of Come With Me. He might have to pay for it, however. The Venomancer is trying to press on as best he can. The TPs are rolling in. The TC blinks in, doesn't quite get the kill. Come With Me still plenty of HP. The stun to land down on TC. He may have overextended. The Split Earth misses, but the Edict will do the damage it needs to do, and TC takes a fall. Complexity looking very strong in the very beginnings of this match. That death was probably unnecessary, but they tried to get an extra kill. They got a bit greedy. It didn't pay off, but they still came out ahead in the end. They got first blood, and they have themselves 3 kills. Hannah Montana and Bamboo duking it out ever so slightly. The Caustic Finale is indeed being secured up by the SK. This will make farming very easily, and it'll make it a little bit difficult for Hannah Montana to get close to the creep wave. Because, of course, we'll be taking damage with every creep that gets slain. The Kraken Shell should negate a little bit of this. But not too much, just a little bit. And with me moving in once again, IX Mike not being caught out just here. Nice use of the wards to scout out ahead, make sure we don't get caught out of position. Haste to be secured up by the Nature's Prophet. We have Thing of the Ice Path, but Jakiro in the end, 1437 electing not to do any such thing. Middle lane, we see Nature's Prophet sitting on 14-2 with Black on 19-3. Fairly even exchange of affairs. Counterwarding action to go down, very nicely done. Stop those wards, giving vision, and sort of quell the aggression to come out of this tri-lane of Mousesports. They need that vision to push forward. They need that safety. Tidehunter currently sitting 10-2 with the SK going 19-3, having a relatively good time thus far in this bottom lane. Also, I forgot to add this before, that it's technically 2-1, not 3-1, because one of those kills was denied, which is very nicely done by Come With Me. Like getting a bit of free farm in the form of these treants, not exactly what you want to do, but he's at least trying to deal some aggression with them, and still continue to get last hits while he ventures off to get the runes, or check for runes. These wards could be considered a bit of an overlap, because if you take this ward and you place it about here, you can see that rune. But it does sacrifice this extra vision, and they probably need and want that safety, so they don't get caught out like this. They know that everyone's there, they know that they're not going to push out ahead, and they know that death is rolling in. The Thunderstrike to go down and Come With Me. The Telekinetic Field to follow it up. He can't get away. And IX Mike Finger moving in. A double stun to come in on the duo of Complexity. But 1437 is getting bursted down. The Edict's doing a big chunk of damage. When Come With Me gets right click, Jakiro is the next hero to fall. No casualties taken by Complexity thus far. And Mousesports take 2 falls. And Sing Sing forced to back off. Like getting a bit of free farm, he is a little bit low, being forced to Bottle Crow as of this moment. And Bamboo dealing the harassment to the Tidehunter at every single opportunity. Doesn't even need to try with the harassment. The Caustic Finale would do all the damage that it needs to do and make the last hitting an absolute nightmare for the Tidehunter. But thankfully, the Tidehunter doesn't really need last hits. Gold is more of a luxury for him. It looks like we're moving in. The Burrow Strike to initiate the Ice Path to follow. Geez, Jakiro is a slow individual indeed. There goes a Ravage, catching everyone out. The TPs are rolling in. Bambo is incredibly low, but so is Hannah Montana. Bambo will take a fall. Hannah Montana might barely survive. He does get away. And now 1437 is being right-clicked down by the Venomancer. The wards will be placed down, and 1437 might take a fall. What looked like the easiest gank of Mousesports alive turned into a double kill for the Venomancer with the escape of the Tidehunter. That definitely didn't go as intended. I'm very surprised we didn't see Furion make an appearance, but it was completely unnecessary. It would have been an extra safety net, however, had he chosen to go and assist out with that gank. Definitely didn't go the way it should have been. IX Mike didn't want to give him those 2 kills. He wanted to get a kill on the Tidehunter, make life a little bit more difficult for him, but I don't think they were expecting that Ravage to come out. But honestly, they should have expected it. He was level 6, and finding out that he's level 6 is very easy. You just simply have to click on him, and it shows you the level. I'm pretty sure you can just press, well, whatever button you have bound to this scoreboard. I don't actually have a button bound for it. I do in spectator mode, I have it bound to tab, but I use tab to switch between units in Dota, so it doesn't really work out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sing Along Might come with me. They're looking to do a little bit of aggression, deal a bit of damage. However, IX Mike is staying back. He's not going to find himself caught out, not just yet. Let's see if we can come in from the behind. Come with me alongside Sing, the ganking duo. Can they deliver a little bit of death to the team of Complexity? Well, Hannah Montana's moving into reinforced. Doesn't have that Ravage on the other hand. Venomous Gale to go down in 1437. The TPs are rolling in as well. There goes the Flame Breath to try and slow them down ever so slightly. Thunderclap to go down, and that is the death of the Jakiro. Another middle lane, Jiro being caught out, ganked by the team of Mousesports. Easy kill for them, but Hannah Montana currently going in on Black, is taking a hit from the tower, is morphing to strength. The right clicks are being dealt. He should be able to get away. Yes, indeed.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, the Venomancer just took a fall. Mousesports are getting the ganks, and this is exactly what they need to do. They're very far behind. They need to get some towers, they need to get some map control, they need to get some kills. If we take a gander over the gold, even after that engagement, still a 1k advantage for Complexity and a 2k in the experience department. While that doesn't seem like much, it's a fairly early stage of the game. It could be considered not a considerable lead, but a reasonable lead. And considering Jo rushing that Hand of Midas, going straight to get all the farm and meet his quota, the gold for Complexity is just going to continue to rise and rise and rise. Wolfling, however, is looking reasonable on the last hit department. Same can be said for SK. And while they do have a last hit department, they are still behind in the gold and the experience, simply because of all the kills that the team of Complexity have earned for themselves. And Mousesports only netting themselves 3 thus far. But if they played a little bit safer and they deal aggression at the appropriate times, they can bring this back. They can even up the kills, get themselves a golden experience that they so need and so desire. TC has to be a little bit cautious, doesn't want to find himself caught out, does have the blink to get away from any form of aggression that gets dealt, however, so he should be relatively safe unless he gets chain stunned to hell, which is no doubt a possibility. Bambo apparently using Epicenter, I didn't notice that. Being caught out, being a little bit of a trap, Static Storm to go down. Unfortunately, he does manage to get the Burrow Strike out, but the Thunderclap, the telekinetic field, he jumps into the Sandstorm. Do we have any form of disable, or any form of revealance? No, the answer is no, but Bambo can't get out of here. He could maybe Burrow Strike into the trees, but the Tree and Protector will simply, or rather the Nature's Prophet will simply use that ability to clear out the trees. Looks like he's going to get away, Burrow Strike away, the Venomous Gale lands down on him as well. Slow is very slow at the moment. Thunderstrike to go down. Bambo looking like he will take a fall. Trying to use the magic wand. Needs a Burrow Strike in the trees before the last right click is dealt, but it's too late. The ward goes down and he takes a fall. The Venomancer earning himself 4 kills thus far in this game. Meanwhile, people dying over in the bottom lane. TC taking a lot of damage from the Edict, trying to blink down the high ground. Does do so successfully. Needs one more right click. Will not get. The Tidehunter now doing work. 1437 is low. Geo TPing in. The Split Earth to go down. Come with me has to TP out and will be able to successfully escape. Not a good engagement for Mousesports. Almost got the Queen of Pain, failed to do so alas, and now they're pushing out this top tower. Complexity placing the wards down, easily going to batter this down within the course of a couple of moments, unless reinforcements roll in, which they are steadily doing. Man in orange, he is Bambo, who's moving in on the offensive. He really wants some revenge. I don't think he's going to be able to achieve himself any. Epicenter is off cooldown, however. But has to be careful of the silence from the Static Storm, which is about to come off cooldown. Has to be careful of the glimpse, which I'm going to assume interrupts channeling. I'm actually not sure. Hannah Montana currently sitting on 31 for 2. The Shrek on 13 to 1 with 2 deaths under his belt, 3 to 5 on the Ogre Magi, and Jakiro just 4 to 1. Not much farm coming in on these 3 heroes. However, the SK sitting on 60 to 5, having a great time, and Black is also having a fairly nice time in mid, currently sitting on 61 to 4. Has his treads, has the Ring of Aquila. Next item on the agenda, possibly a shotgun. We have several squishy heroes that can be taken down in a very rapid manner for the burst damage to come out of that Morphling. Sing Sing having a little bit of a roam about. If we take a quick gander at the gold graph, it's still creeping steadily but surely in favor for the team of Complexity. And over in the XP, it's climbing up even faster. 5k advantage for the team of Complexity. And this is partially due to the fact that while we have plenty of last hits to come out of 2 heroes, the rest of them, 4 last hits, 3 last hits, 20 last hits, not doing particularly great. If we look at Complexity, it's more balanced. The lowest is 5, but 18, 31, 43, 62. We're doing relatively good on the creep score. Bamboo being caught out once again. The Dust of the Seed gone down. The Glimpse to pull him straight back into the action. The static field as well, the telekinetic field, but it just barely misses. One more right click would do it. He's trying to Burrow Strike out to safety, but the Fury ulti bounces through and does take the kill. Black wants some revenge. IX Mike is fairly low. Will he commit to it, however? He does have the haste, but reinforcements are rolling in, and they would be able to burst Black down in a fairly rapid manner, and as a result, he decides to back off. And defense needs to roll around this top tower. Its HP is very low. Fortification is available, on the other hand. We'll be able to delay the death of the tower for a few moments, but nothing longer than that. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Leshrac takes a fall. The Edict trying to do what it can, but alas, it can do nothing. The Ravage was also used to secure that kill, so a lot of dedication and a lot of resources used to take that kill on Come With Me.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Top tower takes a fall. Complexity is securing that up for themselves. Complexity, excuse me. Bamboo caught out in the sandstorm once again. Takes a hit from the Anchor Smash, but we don't have any form of revealance. We could just keep Anchor Smashing. It's a possibility, but he is just going to back off. We are a bit too close to the tower. Black pushing towards his tier 2, is forced to back off when Jiro returns to the fray. Doesn't want to get himself caught out, but he does have the reinforcements of Sing Sing not too far away. TC trying to act as bait. I don't think the team Mousesports will get it. Jakira has to be careful. However, we're venturing towards the jungle, and Jakira's on half HP. He will find himself very dead if he meets up with the combination of Disruptor and Venomancer. Sing Sing is thinking about venturing about. He's sitting right next to a ward. They know he's here. He's the next target on the agenda. Fluff and Stuff moving in. He has no vision of the high ground. Sing Sing, the Venomous Gale just barely hitting him. TP's coming in from Geo. There goes a Sprout. In comes the damage. Blinking in as well. The right click's being dealt. The wand being used up. However, the damage is not enough. Or rather, the healing is not enough. Mech Charge to be used up. Geo getting awfully low. Replicating out. No, he's glimpsed back into the Static Storm. Trying to morph the strength. His HP is low. He's a couple right clicks from death. But he uses the invisibility rune and we don't have any detection. He's thinking of going on Geo. Geo is very low on HP. But if he does, he will probably die within the next couple of moments.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
To the other members of Complexity. Bottom tower takes a fall. Nice little use of the TP, but the Sonic Screen, not enough damage, and he does get away. Very nice little snag by Bamboo. While they're all distracted in mid, we'll take the tier 2 very sneakily under the cover. Item-wise, how are we looking? Disrupted, just having some arcane boots over on the Queen of Pain, working our way towards a sheep stick. Ogre Mage are having practically nothing, fairly standard, 2,000 in the bank. No Ghost Scepter being purchased up, so maybe we're going for Lincoln's first, but we also haven't purchased a Perseverance or anything. Maybe he's going straight for an Ultimate Orb first instead of an Ultimate Orb for a Mantis style, or maybe Ultimate Orb first for that Lincoln's. PPs are rolling in. They want to try and pressure this tier 2. No defense is rolling in. Fortification is available for the team of Mousesports if they want to try and hold this. Come With Me being the sole defender, but more reinforcements rolling in the form of that Sing Sing. But those two alone will not be able to withstand against this might. The might of Complexity. They're pushing forward and blinking in. There goes a Gush. There goes a right click. It's a split earth hitting one member, just picking up Geo. And there goes the death of Come With Me. No escape for him at all. The Edict doing a nice chunk of damage, but a lot of it being absorbed up by the Treants. They will simply turn around and secure the death of this tower. But from here on out, the team of Complexity can simply back off. But this middle tower is being pressured by Black, but he has to leave as well. Fury and ulti to bounce through. They know his location. Are they going to pursue? The answer is no. Geo defending this top tower as well. Need to take out the Siege Creep. It's doing what damage it can. And Montana looking like he went for a bit of a search, but alas, found nobody. And what do we just purchase up? We're going for that Manta style Yasha, the first item being secured up by Black. Maybe even try and deal a bit of aggression to Hannah Montana, but the Ravage is off cooldown. Doing such a thing will be a little bit dangerous, a little bit risky. Let's just get a couple of last hits in the form of that Adaptive Strike, and from there on out, we'll just back off to safety. Blink Dagger to be taken up by the Sand King. We haven't seen any Blink to Epicenters yet, but they will no doubt come and they will be fantastic for the upcoming team fights. However, Complexity are very far ahead, and Tidehunter's working his way towards a pipe, and we need to get those Blink Epicenters off before that pipe is used. Before that pipe is achieved by Complexity. But it is a good distance away. We don't even have the hood yet. We just have the cloak and a ring of regen. We've got a good couple of items to work towards before we will have that pipe. Or even the hood. TP's rolling in. Visibility rune to be secured up by Jo. Very happy with that. And Complexity are just pushing whatever lane they can. And it looks like Mousesports, they want to unify towards this middle lane. The Smoke of Deceit has been popped off by the looks of it. But this top lane has a lot of momentum. The tower is about to start taking some damage, and they need to roll in and defend this, or else this tier 2 will find itself in a relatively unhappy state. Nice positioning to come out of Come With Me and Sing Sing. They want to wait for them to push forward. But alas, they will do no such thing. They are staying back and playing it safe. Counter warding and putting their sentries in nice positions to make sure they don't smoke and attempt to kill them. Queen of Pain pushing out this top lane, currently sitting on 75 last hits and inching ever so closer to that sheep stick. Complexity looking like they want to try and cut them off. They know Mousesports will be making their way to top to try and kill off the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain serving as bait. The rest of Complexity waiting in the sidelines, wanting to bounce at the appropriate opportunity. But Black is backing off, but Mousesports are moving in. The rest of them hungry for blood, but they do not know that it's here. Sing Sing being caught out. He is so incredibly dead. The Gale goes down, tries to stun, tries to deal a bit of damage before he takes a fall. That is all that he can do. The Glimpse goes down. The Epicenter coming in. Hannah Montana is getting low. He needs to pop that Ravage before he gets taken down. There it goes. Just in time. And there goes a Sonic Wave. Black gets eliminated. Bambo is going to be the next to fall. Blink to Scream. And then in comes a right click coming in on Come With Me. 2 members of Mousesports die. Several members of the Complexity also take a fall. Black has returned to the fray. He's trying to do what he can. Adaptive Strike to go down the Disruptor. Blinking away to safety. TC will be fine. A lot of buybacks were had in that encounter. But both sides suffered many casualties. We're currently chasing in on Geo. Waveform ahead is going to TP out to safety. No Adaptive Strike. Yes, the Adaptive Strike is available. Trying to TP out once again, but more stuns are coming in, and Geo takes a fall. Now, who came out ahead in that engagement? Because we had a lot of buybacks that come in from Mousesports, but they did pay for it in the end. The Shrek bought back. Ogre Magi bought back. As well as a Black bought back. So 3 buybacks, but we did, for the most part, essentially team wipe the team of Complexity. Was it worth it? Who knows? We take a quick gander at the gold. It's still in favor for the team of Complexity. Same can be said for Experience, although it's evened ever so slightly after that fight. It's done nothing more than that. Fighting after the runes, Sing Sing does manage to achieve it for himself. No Deny to come out of TC. And how do Mousesports fight from here on out? Complexity have a very nice lineup. What they need to do, what Mousesports need to do is stay safe. But Complexity are not letting them do that. They constantly venture forth in the jungle, and Sing Sing is about to take another fall. The Venomous Gale misses, and he will be able to get away. TP's rolling in from Geo. Thinking of pushing forward, deciding that maybe not. That is not the best idea. That is not the real SK, and a lot of resource being dedicated towards it. Right now, Mouse have a much better late game. They've got reasonable initiation. Complexity have better initiation. They've got great ganking potential. Mousesports have that late game in the form of that Morphling. If Mousesports can hold on, they don't get themselves ganked. They farm up. Black can stay himself safe. He'll just sit in lanes. He'll farm. He'll go in the jungle. He'll farm. He should have a fairly good time. The problem is Complexity are well aware of this, and they're not letting them do any such thing. They are capitalizing on the advantage that they have achieved for themselves. They are pushing as hard as they possibly can. They are ganking at every single opportunity. They are letting the team of Mousesports have no breathing room. We're already venturing into the jungle, seeing if maybe we can find a rogue member of Mousesports, and I think we may have spotted them out. Come With Me moving in on the offensive. Hannah Montana being caught out. Boris tried to go down the Epicenter, dealing loads of damage, and the Tidehunter takes a fall. In goes a Sonic Scream, however, instantly melting Sing Sing. We're sitting in the Static Storm. 1437 is the next member to fall. Come With Me trying to do what he can. Queen of Pain blinking in on the offensive. Black is low on HP. Burrow Strike alongside the Waveform. The Glimpse to send Sand King back to where he should be. There goes a right click. Adaptive Strike to take a kill on TC. And Black is trying to right click down Geo. Will the damage be enough? No, it will not. He's morphing to strength. He has to be fairly careful, but several members of Complexity are very low. And an even exchange of affairs thus far. The Burrow Strike come down on Fluff. 4 for 3. A double kill to be picked up by the Morphling. Did we see a Ravage at all in that game? No, Tidehunter got bursted down before he could deliver, and that was a difference. And even then, the big ulti didn't go off, and Mousesports and Complexity Mousesports only just barely came ahead in that fight. Barely. If that Ravage got off, Complexity would have won that by an absolute marathon. There would have been absolutely no doubt that that Ravage would have made such a difference in that fight, and they are so lucky they managed to get that Tidehunter down before he could cast it off. And after that fight, the gold, the experience is beginning to even out, but the gold is just staying where it is. Aegis Prophet also working his way. I would say Sheepstick, but we've seen Jo several times go straight for a Manta style, which isn't exactly what I would expect or even recommend as Prophet, but it seems to be working out for him. He seems to be winning those games, so I'm not going to argue with it. Queen of Pain also working her way towards a Sheepstick, or not a Manta style, assuming I'm going to assume Furion's going for a Sheepstick, because I think it's just a better item, but you never know, you never know. Illusion Rune here, no one picking it up for themselves. Don't want to bring ourselves out of that smoke. I'm pretty sure we can pick up the illusions in the smoke, but it will obviously give them away. Actually, they don't know that the illusion's here. I thought that was their ward, but alas, it is not. Wait, I got myself really confused just then. Disregard everything. SK, Iron... Helm of Iron Will, is it called? Yes, indeed. TPs are rolling in Geo. No, he will not catch out this rogue SK. But the team of Complexity are moving in. We're looking for some kills. Telekinetic Field to go down for whatever reason. Complexity, Geo TPing in on the offensive. And Come With Me has to run for his oh so dear life, as does Bambo. Come With Me does not have a TP. He has to run to the secret shop, but he's going in... I think he just gave him a TP, but he gave him 2 TPs, which is problematic. But he can just blink his way closer and closer to the secret shop. 2100 in the bank. For Nature's Prophet, he's meeting his quota. He's feeling relatively happy about himself. And closer he gets to the secret shop. He is in range to buy a TP and will TP himself out to safety. Nice ward placement, once again. No, he's not TPing out. He's being caught out. The TPs are rolling in. He burrow strikes into the trees, but he's being caught out once again. The glimpse to go down. He will not escape, and Bambo is good as dead. Flinging out to safety. Split Earth to go down. Come With Me taking a lot of damage, but so is TC. TC being forced to back off. Same with Come With Me. And Sing Sing looking to get the superior positioning, but alas, no such opening could be found. They just have vision everywhere. And this tier 2 tower at the top lane will take a fall. There is no contestation that Mousesports can do. They are missing their big AoE damage dealer. And I have no idea why he didn't TP out. It seemed like the safest option. I think they're yelling at Bambo, asking him why he just threw the game. Moving in, Macro Fire to go down. It's going to weaken the creep wave and do a lot of damage, prevent Complexity from fighting, but would it have been wiser to save that for the next engagement? Well, it does have a 50-second cooldown, so it may not be that big of a deal to use that up, and they might not have an engagement for a good amount of time. And the pipe is almost in hand for the team of Complexity. Now, this is going to make a massive difference. We saw in that previous fight, the Epicenter did do an awful lot of damage and definitely helped out and pulled that team fight in Mousesports' favor. Well, now they have a pipe. That's 400 less damage that they're going to take from the Epicenter, that they're going to take from the AoE abilities coming in from Jakiro, from the Leshrac. It is a great item for them to pick up, and it will probably make a massive difference in the next team fight. Next team fight, no doubt going to be around Roshan. Team Complexity want to take it for themselves, and they have no reason to not to do so. Using the treants to perform a little bit of scouting. Same can be said for the Plague Wards. And the team of Mousesports are probably aware that I think they might be doing Roshan. The smoke has come out. We're going to try and do what we can, but where can we take on the team of Complexity? There goes the Ice Path. They see that no one's in there, and Complexity are actually... Oh, this is smart. This is smart coming out of Complexity. We're all hiding in at the secret shop, and someone's eventually going to be caught out, but this Ogre Magi, not the real one, and they probably think that maybe it is. But they have to take note of the fact that, yes, there are replicates. They have a Morphling on the opposing team. And no deaths to be had. And from here on out, we can just rotate to the bottom lane, maybe push out this tier 3 tower, maybe take the barracks, or maybe we can go to mid. maybe we can find ourselves some easy kills, but we've snuck past everything and we're moving in on the tier 2. But they can get sandwiched. Complexity can come in from the behind. They're already TPing back. Jayo going to do what he can. The Fury and ulti to fly out, to weaken the creep wave, to weaken everything, because that ulti does a lot of damage. And this is going to be a trade, and this is not going to be a worthy trade. The TP tier 3 tower is being bursted down. Fortification has been dropped. The TPs are rolling in. In comes the damage. The glimpse being had. He gets sent back to where he was. That poor come with me. The range on that glimpse is absurd, and you really don't want to TP in range of a disruptor. You never want to do that. Macro Pyre to go down. It's not going to do anything. The tier 3 tower takes a fall. The creep wave doesn't give a crap. And with that tier 3 tower being secured, the team of Complexity are simply going to back off. They've achieved something at the cost of nothing. Well, not really at the cost of nothing. They lost a tier 2 for it, but a tier 2 for a tier 3, it's always worth it. Even a tier 1 and a tier 2 for a tier 3 is probably worth it. Although that's pushing it. The amount of map control that you get from taking down a tier 3, the fact that you can just waltz in and kill the barracks without any contestation, works out very nicely. Chief Stick to go down on Black. The right clicks are being dealt. The Venomous Gale to follow it up. He replicates out. Bambo channeling up the epicenter, who jumps in. There goes the Ravage, getting everyone, and all of the damage is being absorbed by this pipe of insight. Bambo is dead. Another member of Mousesports melting in a very rapid manner.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Who bought back then? Someone bought back. Yeah, Morphling bought back.
Dire's
And from here on out, this is a barracks. Mousesports' big heavy damage dealer not only failed, but he's dead. Simple as that. And the creep wave will be rapidly eliminated, as will the barracks, and we're going to rotate our way to mid by the looks of it. We're trying to do what I can with the burst damage that we have available, with the AoE damage that we have available, but alas, what we can do is not all that much.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Complexity are going to back themselves off. They've gotten the barracks. Let us just leave. And Jayo is in the trees for whatever reason, waiting for those trees to come off cooldown. There we go. What the hell? Invisibility rune to be secured up by him. It looks like we want to move in on Black using the Sheep Stick. Sing getting Sheep Stick. Oh, Shadow Strike to follow it up. The Scream to go out. The Thunder Shock as well as telekinetic field. That is the death of Sing and 1437 being glimpsed back into the pit, but he will simply walk his way to safety. Come with me, trying to do what he can. The last what he can do is not all that much. Jayo joining the fight as well. Another easy kill up for Mousesports, but the Sing will respawn in a very short amount of time. He's not particularly high level, only level 8. Not a happy Sing in the slightest. And once again, Complexity, it looks like they're making it look like they're going for Roshan, but actually they just want the superior positioning. Hannah Montana taking the lead. Gush isn't, Ravage isn't available. I don't think he needs the Glimpse to go down. They know where he is. There goes a telekinetic field. The Static Storm has gone down as well. No morphing to strength, no nothing. The Hex to follow it up. The damage is absurd. Macro Pyre, however, is doing its work alongside the Pulse Nova and the Edict. Jayo is getting very low. He's one right click from death. Will he get taken down? No, he cannot successfully TP, and he does take a fall to Bambo. At least there's a bit of recollection to come out of Complexity. Come out of Mousesports. Fluff and Stuff by the next member to full. Hannah Montana getting awfully low. Fluff and Stuff takes the full. Hannah Montana is getting dealt damage by the tower. 1437, the team of Mousesports unable to push in because of how there's just too many of them there. There's not enough of them. Sing being caught out once again. Ice Path to follow it up. Stunning 2 heroes at the back here. PC doing what it can. Sing takes a call. Fury and ulti to fly through. Blink to Scream to the death of 1437. And buybacks are being had by both sides all around, all day, every day. In goes the epicenter. The damage is immense, but it only catches out 2 hero, and even then it doesn't outright kill them, but he gets himself with Geo and Hannah Montana very low. There goes a Ravage. There goes the damage. A double Ravage. Jumping into the Sandstorm. It will not be enough. Sand King gets taken down and he buys back. The TPs are rolling in. We're being super aggressive. Come with me, wants to do what he can. He wants to try and catch off Geo, but he gets glimpsed back to the pit of the fountain. The Bambo is continuing pursuit. He has a Burrow Strike under his belt with a nice using the telekinetic field. He does Burrow Strike out. He doesn't catch Geo, and Geo will be able to TP out in time. That was very nicely done. Very well played by Complexity. A very good escape. And Mousesports are forcing to sit back and lick their wounds, and the team of Complexity are echoing that statement, also true. There is not much that, from here on out, I'm not sure if there's all that much that Mousesports can do, unfortunately. They seem just a bit too far behind. A 10k advantage for the team of Complexity, and we're closing in on that amount as well in the experience department. Almost 10k for them. Geo TPing in, we want to try and go 1437, Blink to Scream to right clicks, and the death of 1437 being had. Burrow Strike coming in from Bambo, he gets glimpsed the long way back out of the telekinetic field, however. The Hex to go down once again, the right clicks being dealt, and the death of Bambo.
Exquisite.
2 heroes of Mousesports melting in a very rapid manner. And he did indeed go himself for a Sheep Stick, which is, again, in my opinion, a much better idea. Manta style, that was just strange. Black is thinking of it, he's thinking of it, but alas, no such thing will be had. Manta style shotgun looks to be the next item on the agenda for him. Maybe even a butterfly if he so desires. But at this stage of the game, I'm not sure there's all that much that it can do. Bloodlust to go down on Black. He wants to try and deal what damage he can, but Complexity is just looking too strong. The group around here, the fortification is dropped. It's only going to delay the inevitable by about 6 seconds. Tier 3 tower takes it forward, moving in on the barracks. Sing Sing trying to do what he can. There goes 1437, but the Sonic Scream doing a big chunk of damage. Thunderstrike to go down, 1437 will take a fall. Sing Sing trying to save the day, no such thing will be had. TC just going to right click him down. Sing Sing forced to back off. The pipe has been popped off. All the spell damage will be absorbed. Split Earth missing there. Come with me, trying to do what he can once again. And Black is very low in HP, morphing everything to strength. He wants to try and give it one last burst of life of savior. Come with me, moving in on the offensive. Doesn't want to find himself caught out. He could use a Pulse Nova to obliterate this creep wave. And Complexity going to rotate to top. We've taken the mid barracks, the melee, and the range one. From here on out, we're going to back off. Are we going to push in? Complexity, not even taking the time or liberty to secure themselves Rashawn. Rashawn is yet to take a fall once in this game. They're just moving straight for the kill. No insurance for Complexity. They don't need any. They don't want any. They are hungry for that $6,000, and they do just need one more game to win. They can afford to be a little bit risky if they so desired. Nice positioning to come out of Bamboo. Blink Dagger and Epicenter all available. But Complexity aren't pushing in. They're taking a moment to just recuperate, lick their wounds, get themselves a couple of extra items, and make sure they've got full HP, full mana, maybe even go for a couple of easy kills. On someone like Black, a kill would be absolutely vital. Fluff himself moving into position, telling the rest of his team, let's move in, let's kill Black. The Venomous Gale to go down, the Static Storm to follow it up. He can't roll for strength, he can't do anything. The Ravage being dedicated to get this kill. But it will be worth it, because the Morphling is the one hero of Mousesports that's really causing problems, and he rapidly gets eliminated, dedicating a lot to do it, but it will be worth it. Glimpse to go down in Bamboo, but he blinks out. What a clutch blink. He has to be careful, however, doesn't want to get himself caught out, taking a few hits from the neutral piece. Pig to go down, blinking into position, 1437 going to get bursted down, the telekinetic field doing what it can. Double multicast would land down on TC, but the BKBs have been popped. The right clicks are being dealt. BKB will not help against right clicks. Mr. Come with me. And the GG being called out by the team of Mousesports. GG, well played coming out of both the Epicenter being dealt, the pipe blocked, as well as the Epicenter, as well as the mechanism, and it is going to negate all the damage. The Complexity turn around and right-click them down. Sing Sing, next member of the agenda to be right-clicked down by the team of Complexity. And Mousesports, all dead, all disconnecting. The GG, well played, coming out from both teams. And Complexity has secured themselves first place and 6,000 euros. Tier 4 takes a fall, the second Tier 4 will follow in the next couple of moments, and then the Ancient will be battered down.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Hannah Montana he's hungry for gold. Hex go down, Sonic Scream to follow it up, and the damage instantly popping to Kira. We're moving in on the duo of Leshrac and the Morphling. Leshrak's going to be the next to fall. The Morphling takes a lot of effort, however. Remember, these heroes aren't in the game, so they're actually just right-clicking things senselessly. The Ancient takes a fall. Complexity tie up the series 3-1 and take victory for Defense 2. 3-1. Complexity looking so strong in the 4 games that they played, only losing 1 game to Mousesports. Achieve themselves first place from within the Defense 2 and take themselves home 6,000 euros, with Mousesports achieving themselves second place and should be relatively content with 2,500 euros. It's a nice sum of money. Not as much as 6,000, needless to say, but it's a good amount nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Defense 2. The final coverage has been had. I will move on to some other tournaments such as the International 2, get some experience casting those Asian teams, those Asian styles of play. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Toshley. I'll see you next time.